Famous film from the 50s, an element film. This is one of those projects we call independent, organized by a student with the support of the student government and other available sources at AUBG, and expected, obviously, with greatest curiosity in comparison with a lot of other things. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you very much for coming tonight, and I hope we'll have a great show. Lisa, everything's ready? She's traveling over there, so regulate.
Murder in the first degree, premeditated homicide, is the most serious charge tried in our criminal courts. You've listened to the testimony. You have had the law read to you. It now becomes your duty to try to separate the facts from the fancy. One man is dead. The life of another is at stake. If there is a reasonable doubt, you must bring me a verdict of not guilty. If, however, there is no reasonable doubt, you must, in good conscience, find the accused guilty. Whatever your decision, your verdict must be unanimous.
Come. 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 You know something? Who? Me? Of course. I'm in advertising. I know lots of things.
Look, it's kind of hot in here.
Oh, really? I would never have known if you hadn't told me that.
I don't know. I suppose not. I've kind of forgotten.
Well, I didn't. All I've done all day is sweat.
But you aren't sweating like that kid who was tried, huh?
You were told that they ate leaves, air-conditioned this place. I almost dropped dead in court.
Yeah, it's hot.
Did they lock that door?
Yes, they did.
Well, do they think we are crooks or something?
Hey, they lock us up in here for a while.
Then they lock that kid up forever, and that's fine by me.
I never knew they would do that.
Sure, they locked the door. What did you think?
I just said I didn't know. It never occurred to me. Okay, shall we all admit right now that it's hot and humid, and we all need a glass of scotch?
It has been a hard week.
Oh, I feel just fine.
Oh, I wonder what's been going on down at the office. You know, I'm in advertising, and in 6 days, my job could be done. And the whole company as well, because they're not gonna like this.
Well, we figure this is our duty then.
Italiano, I did not object to doing my duty, okay? I just said that I might not have a job by the time I return.
Why don't you ask him to hire you? Should be rich, look at that suit, huh?
Is it custom tailored? Yes, it is. I had an uncle who is a tailor. Really? Yeah. How does he do? Oh, not too well. You know a friend of his? That's a friend of my uncle, the tailor. He was on a jury like this one, and he wanted to be again here on my place.
Oh my God, why didn't you let him? I would have done anything to miss this.
And get caught or something.
So?
You know what kind of a fine you could pay for anything like that. Anyway, that friend of the uncle, he was, as I said, on a jury like this one. About 10 years ago, a case exactly like this one.
So?
Huh?
What happened?
Ah, they let him off. Reasonable doubt. And do you know, about 8 years later, they found out that he'd actually done it. So a guilty man, a murderer, was let loose in the streets.
Did they get him afterwards?
They couldn't.
Why not?
A man can't be held in double jeopardy. Unless it's a hung jury, they can't try a man twice for the same crime.
Oh, that isn't going to happen here.
6 days. They should have finished him in 2. Talk, talk, talk. Have you ever heard so much talk about nothing?
What did you
I
like
guess
this
they're
business about?
entitled.
Well, look, you gotta expect that. You know what you're dealing with. He bought a switch knife that night, and then he lost it. A hole in his pocket. A hole in his father.
An awful way to kill your father.
A knife in his chest. Look at the kind of people they are. You're expecting that.
All right, people. Shall we all take our seats?
Right, you know, I have tickets for Greece for tonight. And I want this to get just done, because I must be the only girl in the world who hasn't seen the show yet. So, Your Honor, start the show.
Grazie. How about sitting down? The gentleman at the window. How about sitting down? All right, people. You can handle this any way you want. I mean, I'm not going to make any rules. If you want, we can discuss the case and then vote. That's one way. Or we can vote right now and just see where we stand.
Let's vote.
Yeah, let's do
Let's see who's where. Yeah, let's vote right now. Who knows, maybe we can all go home.
So,
Sure.
no objections? No. Okay then, please, all of you who vote for guilty, raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 12 to nothing.
Of course.
Oh,
That
yes.
was so easy.
I guess all that's left is to take our verdict to the court then.
Okay.
Can we go?
Yeah.
So you go.
Okay, let's go.
It was clear from the very beginning.
That was
I want vodka.
I want to come.
Yeah, vodka.
Kid. We're done with the show.
No.
So no objections?
No.
All right, so then please, all those voting for guilty, raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, that's 11. Anyone for not guilty?
What? Really?
11 guilty, 1 not guilty.
I'm sorry,
Now
do
you
you?
know where we stand.
Do you really believe he's not guilty?
I don't know.
After 6 days, you don't know?
Come on, man. In 6 days, I could learn calculus. This is simple. This is A, B, C.
I don't think it as simple as ABC.
I never saw a guiltier man in my life.
How does a guilty man look like? He is not guilty until we say he is guilty. Are we to vote on his face?
You sat right in court with us and heard the same things with it. The man is a dangerous killer. You could see it.
Where do you look to see if a man's a dangerous
Oh,
killer?
well.
No, come on, tell me. I want to know. What are the facial characteristics of a killer? Maybe you know something I don't know.
Look, what's there about the case that makes you think the boy is innocent?
He's 19 years old.
That's old enough. He knifed his own father 4 inches into the chest. An innocent little 19-year-old kid.
I agree with you that the boy's guilty, but let's try to avoid emotionally cowed arguments.
They proved it a dozen different ways. Do you want me to list them?
No.
Do you believe the kid's story?
I don't know whether I believe it or not. Maybe I don't.
But why did you then vote not guilty for?
I mean, there were 11 votes for guilty. It's not so easy for me to raise my hand and send off a boy to die without even talking about it first.
Wait a second. Who says it's easy for me?
No one.
Or me.
Oh, come on. He's just as guilty, whether it's an easy vote or a hard one.
Excuse me, Italiano. Is there something wrong because I voted fast?
Not necessarily.
So what you're trying to do?
I just want to talk for a while, that's all.
Talk for a while.
Look, this kid, he has been kicked around all his life, you know, living in a slum. His mother died since he was 9. That's not a very good head start. He's a tough, angry kid. And you know why slum kids get that way? Because we knock him over the head once a day, each day. I think we owe him just a few words. That's all.
Okay. Who says it's easy for me? I worked my way through college. I fought all my life. Everything I've got, I fought for. It was a long time ago, but I haven't forgotten it. I fought, yes, but I never killed.
I know what it's like. I never killed nobody.
Oh, believe me, I've been kicked around too and knocked over head every day. Wait until you work in an ad agency and then big boy walks in and buys the ads.
In my country, in Europe, kicking was a science, but let's try to find something better than that.
I don't mind telling you this, mister. We don't owe the kid a thing. He got a fair trial, didn't he? You know what the trial cost? He's lucky he got it. Look, we're all grown-ups here. You're not going to tell us that we're supposed to believe him, knowing what he is. I lived among them all my life. You can trust a word they say. You know that.
I don't know that. What a terrible thing for a person to believe. Since when dishonesty is a group characteristics? You have no monopoly on the truth.
Come on, it's not Sunday. We don't need a sermon here.
But what you said is very dangerous.
I don't see any need for arguing like this. We ought to be able to behave like civilized people.
Okay, guys. I may have an idea here. I mean, I'm just thinking out loud, excuse me. But it seems to me that it's up to us to convince this gentleman that he's wrong and that we're right. So maybe if we each stop for a minute or two, you know, try to incite.
Oh, that sounds fair, huh? Supposing we go once around the table, okay? But can we all first sit down? Right. We'll start with you.
Well, I don't know. I just think he's guilty. I thought it was obvious.
In what way was it obvious?
I don't know, because no one proved otherwise.
Nobody has to prove otherwise innocent until proven guilty. The burden of proof is on the prosecution. The defendant doesn't even have to open his mouth. You all know of that. It's in the Constitution.
Right. I know that. Well, still, I just think he's guilty.
No reasons. Just guilty. There is a life at stake here.
Oh, come on, you lousy. There's. Let's get to the facts, huh? Why don't you take the old man who lived on the second floor, right underneath where the murder took place, huh? 10 minutes after 12, he heard loud noises coming from the upstairs apartment. He said it sounded like a fight. Then he heard the boy yell to his father, "I'm going to kill you!" A second later, he heard the body falling. Then he ran to the door of his apartment to see the boy running down the stairs and out of the house. Ha! Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Doesn't sound right to me.
Ivaylo and your corner fix the time of death at around midnight.
Come on, the boy's entire story is flimsy. He claimed he was at the movies, but that's a little ridiculous, isn't it? He couldn't even remember what picture he saw.
And he didn't have any ticket stubs.
Who gives a ticket stub at the movies?
But the cashier didn't remember him.
And the ticket taker didn't either.
Look, what about the woman across the street? If her testimony don't prove anything, then nothing does.
That's right, she saw the killing, didn't she?
Scusate, let's go in order.
Just a second.
No, you wait a second. I think we decided to do this a certain way. And I think we ought to stick to that way.
Oh, stop being a kid, will you?
What do you mean, a kid?
What do you think I mean? Kid.
Listen, just because I'm trying to put this thing in order, here, you try. You take the chair, I'll keep my mouth shut. Take the responsibility.
Oh, what are you getting so hot about? Calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down. You want to take the chair? Take the chair.
Hey, fella, calm down. This is not important. Come
Oh,
on,
not
calm down.
important. Come, you take it.
No,
Friend,
calm
nobody
down.
wants to change. You're doing a beautiful job.
Sit, please.
I don't care what you do anymore. Just don't bother me.
Okay, so here's a woman who's lying in bed and can't sleep. She wakes up, looks out of the window, and sees the kid stick the knife into his father.
But how can she be really sure when she saw it through the windows of a passing elevator train?
Well, she's known the kid all his life, and his window is right opposite hers, across the L tracks. And she swore him do it.
Yeah, I heard her swear to it.
Okay, and they proved in court that you can look through the window of a passing L train and see what's happening on the other side. They proved it.
I want to ask you something. You said that you can't believe them, that you can't trust them.
So?
How come you believed her? She's one of them
You're a
too.
pretty smart fellow, aren't you?
Please calm down
Come
now.
on, sit down. Don't let him upset you.
People, they did take us out to the woman's room, didn't they?
They did.
And weren't you able to see what happened on the other side of the tracks?
I didn't see as well as I wanted to see, but yeah, I could see what happened on the other side.
You see? Do you see?
Stop it. It's your turn. Yes.
Can I pass?
That's your privilege. How about you?
Well, I was convinced with the testimony of those gentlemen across the hall. Didn't they say something about an argument between the boy and the father at around 7 o'clock that night? I mean, I didn't pay too much attention, but I can be wrong.
So I think it was 8 o'clock.
That's right, 8 o'clock.
Yes, it was 8 o'clock. I believe I remember it. They saw the father hit the boy twice, and they saw the boy walk angrily out of the house.
Right.
But what does that prove?
Bro, I didn't say it proves anything, but it's just part of the picture, you know?
Alright, is there anything else?
No.
Well, I don't know. Most of it has been said already, and honestly, I think we're just wasting our time.
I don't think so.
Oh, come on, look at that kid's record. He was arrested for mugging. He stole a car. They said he stabbed somebody in the arm or something, I don't even remember anymore.
They did.
Well, at 15, he was in a reform school. Oh, what an innocent little kid.
And they sent him to a reform school for stabbing someone?
Yeah.
But since he was 9, his father would beat him up regularly. He used his fists.
So would I, on a kid like that.
You're right. It's the kids. They don't listen, you know. I have a kid. When he was 8, he ran away from a fight. I saw him. I was so ashamed. I told him right there, I'm gonna make a man out of you. I hate tough kids. I haven't seen him in 6 years.
That's how it goes.
Let's move on. Why?
Alright, we're missing the point here. This kid, let's say he's a product of a filthy neighborhood and a broken home. We can't help that. We're not here to go into the reasons why slums are breeding ground for criminals. They are. I know it. So do you. Children who come out of slum backgrounds are potential menaces to society.
You said it right there. I don't want to be a part of them, believe me.
Oh, that's enough. I've lived in a slum all my life.
Oh, wait a second.
You wait a second, I played in a backyard that was full of garbage. Maybe it still smells some.
Come on, buddy. There's nothing personal in here.
There is something personal here.
Come on, fellow. She didn't mean you.
Whom did she mean then?
I can understand his sensitivity.
Can we please stop the bickering?
Guys, please, we're wasting time.
Yes.
We're good.
It's not.
Alright, I had a peculiar feeling about this trial from the very beginning. Somehow I thought the defense counsel never really conducted a thorough cross-examination. Too many questions were never asked.
While it doesn't change my opinion about the guilt of the kid, still, I agree with you that the defense counsel was bad.
That's a point.
So?
Too many questions were never answered.
What about the questions that were answered? Let's talk about the cute little switch knife that this fine upright boy admitted buying.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's get it in here and talk about it. Mr. Foreman, I'd like to see the knife.
You all know how it looks like. Seriously. What do you think? Why?
The gentleman has right to see exhibiting evidence.
I do.
Alright, this knife is a pretty strong piece of evidence, don't you agree?
I agree.
Okay, let's get the sequence of events right as they relate to the switch knife.
Okay, so first, the boy admits going out of his house at 8 o'clock after being slapped by his father.
Or punched.
Whatever.
Or punched. He went to the neighborhood store and bought the switch knife. The storekeeper was arrested the following day when he admitted selling it to the boy.
And we all know this knife is pretty strange, something difficult to forget.
The storekeeper identified this knife and said it was the only one of its kind he had in stock. Now, why did the boy get it?
Well, he said it was a present for a friend of his.
Aha.
Present.
I think we all know what actually happened here. This boy took the knife home and a few hours later stabbed his father with it and even remembered to wipe off the fingerprints. Everyone connected with this murder identified this knife. Now, are you trying to tell me that someone picked it up off the street, went up to the boy's house, and stabbed his father with it just to be amusing.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's possible that the boy lost the knife and that someone else stabbed his father with a similar knife. It is possible.
Take a look at that knife. It's a pretty strange knife. I've never seen anyone like it before in my life. Neither had the storekeeper who sold it to the boy. Aren't you trying to make us accept a pretty incredible coincidence?
I'm not trying to make anyone accept anything. I'm just saying it's possible.
I'm saying it's not possible. Oh. What are you doing?
Yeah, what is this? What do you think you are?
Where did you get it?
I got it in a little junk shop just around the boy's house. It cost $2.
Now you listen to me.
I'm listening.
You pulled a real smart trick here, but you proved absolutely zero. Maybe there are 10 knives like that, so what?
Maybe there are hundreds.
Oh, the boy lied and you know it.
Maybe he lied, and maybe he didn't lie. And maybe he did lose the knife, and maybe he did go to the movies. Maybe why the cashier didn't see him, because he was trying to sneak into the movies and was too ashamed to say so during the trial. I mean, I'm sure that every one of you in this room tried to sneak into the movies at least once.
I didn't.
Really? Not even once.
We did not have movies.
Oh.
Maybe he lied, and maybe he didn't lie. What do you think?
It's a stupid question. Sure, he lied.
What do you think? Do you think he lied?
I don't know.
Do you think he lied?
Nobody knows. Listen to me now.
Listen to me now. There are 11 people in this room that thinks the guy's guilty. What are you? The guy's lawyer. What are you trying to accomplish with your cute little story? I don't understand. If you're gonna be stubborn, you hug the jury, okay, that's fine by me. He's gonna be tried again and found guilty sure as he's born.
You're probably right.
Obviously, don't think this guy is guilty.
We don't. Are we gonna spend the entire night talking about this?
But well, it's only one night, but a man can die.
One night, maybe for you.
You already died.
But you haven't really presented anything to us to make it possible for us to understand your doubt. There's the old man downstairs. He heard it. He heard the boy shriek it out.
And the woman across the tracks, she saw it with her own eyes.
And the fights too between the father and the kid. What was it, 8?
Yes, yeah.
I've got a proposition to make.
Okay.
I want 11 of you to vote by secret ballot. I'll abstain. If there's still 11 votes for guilty, I won't stand alone. We'll bring in a guilty verdict and be done with it.
Okay, let's do it.
But if there is a single vote for not guilty, we stay in this room and we talk it out.
Let's do it, man.
Okay, who did it? What idiot changed his vote?
Is that the way to talk about a man's life?
Oh, whose life are you talking about? The life of the dead man or the life of the murderer?
She's right. We have the right to know who.
Excuse me.
feast was a secret ballot.
Oh, no one looked why we did it, but now I want to know why and who did it.
Secret ballot. We agreed on that point, no? If the person wants it to remain a secret...
What do you mean a secret? There are no secrets here. Oh, I know who it was. What's the matter with you? You come here, you vote guilty, and then a slick preacher comes starts tearing your heart out about poor little kid who just couldn't help becoming a murderer. If that isn't the most sickening thing.
Please hold it. I agree with you that the man is guilty. But let's try to be fair.
Be fair? But that's just what I'm talking about, people. We're trying to put a guilty man into the chair where he belongs, and all of a sudden you start paying attention to fairy tales.
Just tell me, why do you think?
Now you listen to me.
Please! Let's keep things organized.
It isn't organized, but let's try to be civilized.
Please, I would like to say something here. Pardon me. I have always thought that a man was entitled to have unpopular opinions in this country. This is the reason I came here. I wanted to have the right to disagree.
Do you disagree?
Well, at this one time I agree with you, but that's not the point. My point is that in my own country, I'm ashamed to say...
what do we have to listen? The whole history of your country?
Look, but that is...
It's always wise to bear in mind what happened in other countries when people aren't allowed to disagree. But we are, so let's stick to the subject.
Oh, you're so right. Let's stick to the subject. What made you change your vote, huh?
Yes, you haven't told us yet.
What makes you think I changed my vote?
Because I do. Now get on with it.
There is nothing for him to tell you. He didn't change his vote. Checkmate.
See? I was gonna tell you, but you were so sure of it.
Okay,
I did.
sorry.
What?
Maybe you'd like to know why.
Yes, I would like to know why.
This gentleman right here chose not to stand alone against us. And that's his right. It takes a great deal of courage to stand alone, even if you believe in something very strongly. He left the verdict up to us. He gambled for support, and I gave it to him. I want to hear more. The vote is 10-2.
That's fine. If the speech is over, let's go on.
If there was anything in this kid's favor, I'd vote not guilty.
I don't see what it is.
Neither do I. It's that one juror who's holding out. But he'll come around, I'm sure, and fundamentally he's a very reasonable man.
It's hard, you know.
Yes, it is. And what does guilty beyond reasonable doubt really mean?
What's a reasonable doubt?
Exactly. When a life is at stake, what's a reasonable doubt? You've got to draw the line somewhere. You've got to have law and order. Otherwise, everyone will start knifing people.
Not much reasonable doubt here.
Too many think so. I wonder why. I really wonder why.
You know, but sometimes people go to jail or death, and then, years later, things turn up.
And then on the other hand, some killers get turned loose, and they go out and do it again. They squeeze out on some technicality and kill again.
Look, sorry, I got little excited. Nothing personal.
Okay.
I will just suppose that you already answered this to us, but if the kid didn't kill him, who did it?
As far as I know, we're not concerned with anybody else's motives here. We're here to find out whether the boy on trial is guilty or not. That's it.
Come on, who would else have a motive? Come on.
The old man was long in years. Maybe an old grudge.
Yeah, sure.
Remember, it is guilty beyond reasonable doubt. This is really important thing to remember.
Everybody's a lawyer here. Supposing you explain to us what your reasonable doubt is.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a feeling I have, you know. A feeling. Perhaps you don't understand anyways.
I don't.
A feeling? What are we going to do? Spend the night talking about your feelings? What about the facts?
Yes, you said it right there. The old man heard the boy yell to his father, "I'm going to kill you." Huh. Then he saw the kids running down the stairs and out of the door 15 seconds later.
Exactly. And let's not forget the woman across the window. I mean, she looked across the street, excuse me. She looked into the open window and she saw the boy stab his father. She saw it! Which part you don't understand now?
That's not enough.
Is the reasonable doubt in that? Where?
It doesn't seem right to me.
What seems right to you? The woman saw a killing through the windows of a moving elevated train. The train had 5 cars, and she saw it through the windows of the last 2 cars. She remembers the most insignificant details.
Now what have you got to say about that?
This is just not enough for me.
Well, supposing you take your time and think about it. You want to play some tic-tac-toe? Sure. Maybe we can kill the time here.
The
This isn't a game.
Hey,
This is a man's life.
How? Who do you think you are? How can you do that, huh? No, let me speak to the
Hey! We don't want any fights in here.
Weren't we talking about elevated trains?
Yes, we were.
So?
Alright, how long would it take an elevated train that has 5 cars to pass a given point?
What has that got to do with anything?
You'll find out soon. What do you think? How long? Guess. What do you think? Alright, what about you?
10, 12 seconds.
Okay, 10 to 12 seconds is a pretty reasonable guess.
Okay, 10 to 12 seconds. We agreed. What are you getting at?
This, and please note it down. An elevated train that has 5 cars takes 10 seconds to pass a given point. That place is where the killing took place. You can almost reach out of the window and touch the air, right? I have lived right next to the L tracks. When your window is open, the noise is almost unbearable. You can't hear yourself think.
Okay, you can't hear yourself think. Get to the point.
The woman saw the killing through the last 2 cars. The last 2 cars.
What are you giving us here?
Let's put the testimonies together. The old man hears the boy say, "I'm going to kill you." A split second later, he hears the body fall, right? That's the testimony. And the woman sees the killing through the last 2 cars. If we put the testimonies together, the elevated train had been going by the old man's window for at least 6 seconds. The old man would have had to hear say, "I'm going to kill you," with an elevated train roaring past his nose. It's not possible that he could have heard it.
Sure, he could have heard it.
With an L train going by?
Oh, he said the boy yelled it out.
An L train makes a lot of noise.
Yes, it does.
I don't think he could have heard it.
People, are you calling the old man a liar? If you're crazy, what's he got to gain?
Attention, maybe.
Oh, you keep coming up with those bright sayings. You know, why don't you send a couple to a newspaper? They pay $2.
Don't talk to him like that. You have a right to be heard. Why do you think the old man might have lied?
It's just, I looked at the man for a very long time, you know? It was a very old man, and I think I know him better than anyone here in this room. It was an old man with a torn jacket and 2 canes, barely walking. He was a quiet, frightened, insignificant man who has been nothing all his life, who hasn't had his name in the newspaper or recognized ever. After 75 years, nobody knows him. This is so sad. A man like this needs to be recognized, quoted, questioned, at least once. This is very important.
Okay. So you're trying to tell us that an old man lied about this thing just so that he can be important. Come on, man, even I wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't really lie, you see. He would make himself believe he heard the noise. He would make himself believe he saw the guys running downstairs.
Ah, that's the most incredible story I've ever heard. I'm sorry, how could you make up a thing like that?
I'm not making this up.
You must be making it up. People don't lie about things like that.
He'd make himself believe this is the truth.
What do you know about it?
I speak from experience. I'm the same man.
Thank you. I think we all understand now.
If you want to admit you're a liar, it's fine by me.
No, that's too much.
He just said he's a liar.
He did not say he was a liar. He was just explaining the circumstances why the old man might have lied. There is a difference.
I'm sorry, didn't you just say you're a liar?
Have some compassion.
Liar.
Signori! We're here because of our job and duty.
I think they've covered it.
I hope we have.
Va bene. Is there anything else?
There is something else I'd like to point out here. Now this phrase, "I'm going to kill you." How many times each of us has used it? If you do that once again, Junior, I'm going to kill you. Hundreds of times, but we don't actually mean that we're going to kill that person.
Don't the circumstances alter that somewhat?
Excuse me, the old man was murdered.
Oh, I'm sorry, but the phrase was, "I'm going to kill you," and the boy yelled it at the top of his lungs. Now, don't tell me he didn't mean it. Anybody says a thing like that, they mean it.
Okay, I want to ask you another thing then. Do you think that the boy would shout out a thing like that so the entire neighborhood would hear it? I don't think so. He's too bright for that.
Right? He's a common ignorant slob. He don't even speak good English.
Pardon me, but he doesn't even understand.
The boy's clever enough. Yeah, we have to understand that.
Mr. Foreman, I'd like to change my vote to not guilty.
What?
You heard it.
Are you sure?
Why did you change your vote?
The vote is 9-3 in favor of guilty.
Look, he talked you into believing the fairy tale.
There's a reasonable doubt in my mind.
Where?
There's this knife.
Oh, really?
Okay, how you base your stories?
There is the old man too.
Old man, knife. The stories that this guy made up. If he ought to write for Amazing de facto monthly, he would earn a fortune. Come on, the kid had a lawyer, didn't he? He did. Why the lawyers didn't bring up all of these points before? Why?
Because lawyers can't think of everything.
What? Come on, lawyers can think about everything, but obviously we have a guy that can't think about everything. What are you trying to do here? What are you trying to do? You're coming here, you pull your stories out of thin air, and now we're all supposed to believe that the old man didn't get out of the bed, ran to the doors, and see the kid beaten downstairs 15 seconds after the killing!
That's the testimony, I believe.
And the old man swore to this. Yeah, he swore to this. Oh, if only he could be important.
Did you say that the old man ran to the door?
Yes, ran.
It's an old man. How could he run to the door?
Okay, ran, walked. What's the difference? He got there.
He said he walked. I remember it now. He said he walked from his bedroom to the front door. That's enough, isn't it?
Where was his bedroom again?
No, hole somewhere.
It doesn't sound...
What? Somewhere! Are we to send off a man to die because it's down the hole somewhere?
I thought you remembered everything. Don't you remember?
No, I don't. Does anyone here in this room remember where exactly the bedroom was?
No.
I don't either.
Mr. Foreman, I'd like to look at the diagram again, the apartment.
How do you like this guy?
How come you're the only one who wants to see exhibits all the freaking
You're
time?
being interesting.
I don't know. You're like looking into that phone. I don't know.
Get the diagram.
Let him do it, yes.
All right. We're going to figure out how an old man who has had 2 strokes in the past and walks with a pair of canes could get from his bed to his front door all in 15 seconds.
Didn't he say 20 seconds?
No, he said 15 seconds.
He said 15. How does he know how much 15 seconds is? You cannot measure a thing like that.
He was very positive about that.
How could he be positive about anything?
He said 15, I'm pretty sure about that.
But that's an old man. He was confused half the time. How can he be sure about anything? You know what I mean.
Of course.
A testimony that can put a man in jail has to be positive about everything. We cannot leave anything to chance.
Okay, I guess we're gonna start the show now.
Yep.
So,
Come on,
Such
guys,
a waste
back to
of
work,
time.
seriously.
Waste.
I looked at this diagram for 2 hours. Enough is enough.
I'm still interested. You can go ahead.
Wait a minute.
Foreman, how old are you, man? 105? Hurry up.
Okay.
He's coming. Come on, guys.
All right.
Can we do it?
All right now.
I have to get my popcorn.
All
I'm
right.
tired of this.
Can you hurry up, please? I don't have the whole day here. Oh. Come on. This is ridiculous. It's a move.
Okay. Here we go. Do me a favor. Wake me up when this is over.
I'm still interested. Go ahead.
All right. This is the place where the killing took place, and this is the apartment of the old man, and exactly the same. Here is the hole, and here is his front door. Now he had to get up off of his bed, get his canes, open his front door, walk through the hole, open another door to see exactly at the same time that the kid was running downstairs, only 15 seconds. And I'm sure that it's not possible that an old man could have done this.
You know it's possible.
How could this be possible?
I don't think that it is possible.
He should have been in a hurry. He didn't hear the boy yell. What are you doing?
I want to try this thing. I want to see how it actually took him. How long it actually took him.
It's crazy. What makes you think you can do this?
According to you, it will take only 15 seconds, and I think we can spare that. Nothing can stop me to do that. Who's got a watch with a second hand? Tamaz, please. Come on, give me a hand.
It's an incredible waste of time. Incredible.
It's foolish, but let him go ahead. Okay, let's see how long it actually took him. Come on, stamp your foot when you want me to start.
Ready?
Yes.
Speed it up. You want twice as fast as that.
Faster.
I think the speed is even higher than the speed that
You should speed it up a bit.
Okay, if you want me to speed up a little bit, I will speed up a little bit.
Go on.
Stop.
39 seconds.
That can be.
39 seconds.
Now that's interesting. And the old cripple swore on his oath that it was 15.
I mean, I know he was a bit faster than the old man walked with, the speed that the old man walked with, but not 24 seconds off.
Oh, still, far from me calling anyone a liar. And while there's still quite a difference between your speed and the one of the old man, why still there's quite a
discrepancy.
Esattamente, quite a discrepancy.
And my point is that the old man might have honestly tried to get to the door, but couldn't get there in time. He heard someone racing down the stairs and assumed that it was the boy.
Actually, it is possible.
Assume? Oh my God, I've seen all kinds of dishonesty in my day, but this little display here takes the cake, I'm telling you.
What kind of dishonesty?
Tell him.
Wanna know?
Come on, you're the guy. Come on, what's the matter with you? You come here with your heart bleeding all over the floor about slum kids, injustice, I don't know what. What's up with you? This boy is guilty. He's guilty. He killed his own father. We're letting him slip through our fingers. What's wrong with you?
Our fingers? Are you his executioner?
One of them.
Then perhaps you'd like to pull the switch.
For this kid, you better not.
How it must feel like to want to pull the switch.
You just don't start with me, okay?
I'm sorry for you.
Start with me.
You want to see this boy die because you personally want it, not because of the fact you're a sadist.
Shut up.
You're a beast.
Come on, don't turn your.
You
Shut
disgust
up. Come here. No. Why? Let me go. I'll kill him.
No.
I'll kill you. Come here. Come here.
You don't actually
Look, them.
You don't actually mean that you're going to kill me, right?
What the fuck are you staring at?
I don't see why we have to behave like children here.
Nor do I. We have a responsibility. This is a remarkable thing about democracy. That we are, what is the word? Notified. That we are notified to come down to this place and decide on the guilt or innocence of a man that we have not known before. We have nothing to gain or lose by our verdict. This is one of the reasons why we are strong. We should not make it a personal thing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Why do you thank me?
Well, we forget. It's good to be reminded.
I'm glad we're going to be civilized about this.
Well, we're still nowhere.
No, we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, right. Guys, who's got an idea?
Guys, maybe we should go with another vote. What do you say? Just to see who is where.
Maybe.
Okay, let's go.
Foreman?
All right. Okay,
But this time, it should be an open ballot.
I want to see who stands where.
Want an open ballot?
Yes.
All right then. Well, I will just call off your jury numbers. I vote guilty. Number 2.
Not guilty.
Number 3.
Guilty.
4.
Guilty.
5.
Not guilty.
6.
Not guilty.
7.
Guilty.
8.
Not guilty.
9.
Not guilty.
10.
Guilty.
11.
Not guilty.
12.
Guilty.
That's 6 to 6. Yes.
I'll tell you something. The crime is being committed right in this room.
I'd like to know, why did you change your mind?
Well, it seems to me that this gentleman seems to be very convinced, while this lady, she just yells at everyone and insults everyone.
Does the anger and the insult change the guilt of the kid? He did do it. Are you going to turn a murderer loose because one of the jurors gets angry when he thinks a murderer is being turned loose? There's nothing on him. The track is straight in front of the window, so the L train would have made a low rumbling noise. L trains screech when they go around curves, so the old man downstairs might have heard a scream which is high-pitched. And it is a tenement, and they have thin walls.
Now I want you to listen to this man. He knows what he's talking about.
The old man downstairs might have been wrong on the time, but he might actually be right about whom he saw running downstairs. And please remember that it's summer and gloves seem unlikely.
Absolutely right.
All I'm saying is that the old man might have been wrong about the time, but right about whom he saw running downstairs. Now, it might have taken the murderer 39 seconds to wipe off the fingerprints and get downstairs to the place where the old man saw him. The boy that is.
We reconstructed the old man's getting out of bed and going to the door. Oh, I say let's reconstruct the actual killing.
Yes, let's reconstruct it.
I suppose we can reconstruct it.
I'm gonna do the stabbing.
I think that he is right. The murderer could use up to, let's say, 30-40 seconds at that point. I don't know.
And don't forget you take 1 second to fall.
Yeah, very fine.
And also, come here. He was found on his right side. So, and stabbing someone isn't like, let's say, shooting them. So, it could have taken him, let's say, 3-4 seconds to just roll over or just stay there riding, I don't know.
And if someone hits another person enough to kill them, I think it's pretty reasonable to assume that the killer will look at his victim for a second or two.
Yeah.
And there might have been enough oxygen in his system to carry him for 2-3 seconds, I should think.
Sorry, but wouldn't the father have cried out?
Maybe the kid held his mouth.
Also, there's another point we might bring out here. Anyone who is clear enough mentally to wipe off the fingerprints after killing someone, well, that person is also clear enough mentally to look around the apartment or the house, or in our case, the room, to see if there are any other clues. It would just be for a second or two, I should think, but still, he would look around.
Scusate, about this thing on the fingerprints. If he wiped the fingerprints of the knife, he would do the same with the doorknob, you know? So imagine, if a person comes to your home, a man who hates you, and he wipes the doorknob right after he came, it would give you a bad feeling, right? So, he must have done it after he killed the father, which will take some time.
That's right.
Yes, yeah. Okay, you turn the last one. Why don't you turn this one too?
Okay, stamp your foot when you want me to start.
No!
Come on, I'm not gonna kill him, I'm sorry. Stamp your foot when you want me to start. Okay, stop.
It's 29.5 seconds, I'd say.
What?
And whoever did kill the old man, and I still think it was the kid, he had to run down the hall and down the stairs. At least one flight of stairs.
Okay. So now, both time sequences check. The one that this guy did and the one that we did. But what about you running downstairs and everything? I mean, it does pretty much check out on times, you would agree?
Yeah, and bear in mind that he's an old man who wants to grab the attention, and you know, the old man feel like everyone would feel. The life is at stake.
He might have been wrong on time, but I think it's pretty reasonable to assume that he did see the kid run downstairs.
Okay, but then I want to ask you something then. How many of you have lived in apartment buildings?
I do not know what you're thinking, but I know what I'm thinking.
What's that?
Well, I do not live in a tenement, but it is dark and there is just enough light to see the stairs. No more, the light bulbs are so small.
And do you remember that the police officers were actually using flashlights to see what was going on?
My question is, couldn't the old man who misjudged the time by 100%, on this we all agree, couldn't he be 100% wrong about what he saw?
Oh, I think you're pulling it out of thin air. Oh.
Look, do you still think there is no enough room for reasonable doubt?
Yes, I do.
I beg your pardon, but maybe you do not understand the term reasonable doubt.
What do you mean, I don't understand the term reasonable doubt? Who are you to talk to me like that? You're coming here out of who knows where, running for your own life, and now you're gonna tell us how to run our show. Come on, shame on you, shame!
No one here is asking where anyone came from.
Well, excuse me, but I was born right here.
Or where your father came from.
Well, my father. He's from Montenegro.
Don't talk to him like that. It's good to be reminded by some people who come running here that we're not so perfect.
It's all right, I'm used to it.
It's not all right.
Well, okay, I apologize. Is that what you
Yes.
want? Yes.
Oh, come on. Stop the arguing. Is there anyone who has something constructive to say?
May I say? Oh, well, you know, this thing about the wound and the stab, how it was made, it's been bothering me for so long time. And you know that the boy was 5 feet 8, he's 5 feet 8 inches tall, and his father was 6 feet 2 inches tall. That's the difference of 6 inches. How is it possible to make the step with upward angle?
Don't tell me we're gonna start again with this. They went over it and over it with it in court.
I know that, but I just don't understand how it is.
Oh, obviously. You need a demonstration here. So, what's our difference?
I would say more than 6 inches.
Yes, it's one more.
Let it be more than 6 inches. It's important that he's taller. If I have to stab a man who's taller than me, that's how I would do it. See? That's the angle. Down and in. That's how I would do it. That's how it was done.
But doesn't it seem like an awkward way to handle a knife? Have you ever stabbed someone?
What a stupid question.
Have you ever seen someone stab?
No.
Okay, well, from where do you get all information then? Has anyone in this room ever stabbed someone or seen someone get stabbed?
Of course not.
Wait a minute.
Have you ever seen someone? Have you ever seen a man stabbed?
Yes.
Where?
In my backyard. On the street. A lot of them actually. The switch knives came from the neighborhood where I live. It looks like you try to forget those things. Anyways, when you want to stab someone and you use switch knife, you do it like this. Underhand. Because it takes too much time to open a knife and stab a man overhand.
Do you think it's possible that the boy could have made the kind of wound that killed his father?
Well, it's possible. But not if he had any experience with the switch knives, and we know that he had a lot of experience with it.
He was actually sent to reform school for knifing someone.
I don't believe this. This is bullshit.
Neither do I. You're giving us a little mumbo-jumbo here.
I'm saying it takes too much time.
Okay, so maybe we're hungry.
No, we're not.
Actually, we are not. You know, I was thinking for a bit, and I think that I'm a little bit sick and tired of this nowhere going thing already, so as I was thinking, I changed my mind, and I think that I'll change my vote and not guilty.
You cannot do that. What? Yeah. You cannot do that. Come on.
Oh, you heard me. Of course I can. I had enough.
Right.
I had enough.
Not an answer. What kind of a person are you, really?
Well,
you come here and you vote guilty with everyone else just because of some tickets burning a hole in your pocket. And now you change your vote. Because you're sick and tired of all of that.
You can't really talk to me like
Who
that.
gives you the right to play like that with a human life? Don't you care?
Who are you to... I don't have to, like...
I can't talk to you like that. If you want to change your vote, you do it because you're convinced that the person is not guilty. And you think that he is guilty, then you vote that way. Don't you have the guts to do what you think is right?
Well, I told
you... Guilty or not guilty?
I told you not guilty.
Why?
Well, I I told you.
Say it.
I don't
Why?
have to. I don't have to explain. Well, I don't think so anymore. Not guilty, just not. I don't know.
Before we decide on anything else, I would like to pull this thing together.
Yes, I mean, I'm in advertising, you know, and I'm used to all those big shots putting things together. And let's see what this big shot, headshot has to say.
All right, but first, I want all of you to look at this consistently and logically.
We have guilty.
Okay, I want to know, is the kid smart or is he dumb?
What do you mean?
Okay, think of this. It would take a very stupid man to go and buy a switch knife, a murder weapon that everybody would associate with the kid, as he had so much experience with people, with knifing someone. Now, is the kid smart or is he dumb?
Who agree he's dumb?
Okay, but to kill someone takes great hatred, great emotion, and at that time he would handle the knife as best as he can. As he had been trained, he would go underhand, not overhand. However, our kid is being very smart. He makes the kind of wound that an unexperienced man would make that would lead us to suspect someone else. At the same instance, he's smart enough to run away, wipe the fingerprints off the doorknob, wipe the fingerprints off the knife. And now I want to ask you this. Is the kid smart or is he dumb? At the same instance, he's so dumb that he does the killing while an elevator train is going by, and he risks that someone would see him inside the train. Furthermore, what does he do? He shouts so that the entire neighborhood would hear it. Now, in order to say that the boy is guilty, you have to say that he is smart from 8 till 12, and then for a second he becomes smart, then for another second he becomes dumb. To say that the boy is guilty, you have to toss his intelligence like a pancake. There is doubt, doubt, doubt.
I hadn't thought of that.
I'm sold on reasonable doubt.
I wanted more talk when I changed.
I want another vote.
Now I have it.
I want another vote. Fast.
Okay.
All right, there's another vote being called for. I guess the quickest way is to show hands. Those voting for not guilty, raise your hands. 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, guilty. 9 to 3.
I don't understand you people. How can you believe this kid is innocent? Look, you know how these people lie. I don't have to tell you this. And they don't need any real big reason to kill someone either. Look, these people get drunk and bang. Somebody's lying in the gutter. Nobody's blaming them. You know what I mean? That's how they are. Violent. Human life doesn't mean to them as much as it does to us. You know these people are drinking and fighting all the time. And if somebody gets killed, so somebody gets killed. They don't care. Oh, sure, there's some good things about them too. Look, I'm the first to say that. I've known a few... What's going on here? You listen to me. I've known a few who are pretty decent, but these are exceptions. Most of them, it's like they have no feelings. They can do anything. What's going on here? You listen to me. This kid on trial, he's no good. Listen to me.
Oh, lady, I had enough. Sit down and don't open your mouth again.
I'm only trying to tell you something.
Sit down, everybody. Come on, sit down. I still believe that this boy is guilty of murder, and I'll tell you why. To me, the most damning evidence was given by the woman across the street, who actually saw the murder committed.
As far as I know, that's the most important testimony.
All right, let's get over her testimony again then.
I believe I can recount it accurately. She said she went to bed at about 11 o'clock that night. Now, you all know that her bed is right next to the open window, and as she turns while she's sleeping, she could see right through it to the window across the street. Now, she tossed and turned for over an hour, unable to fall asleep. When finally, at about 12:10, she looked out the window and saw the boy stab his father. As far as I can see, this is unshakable testimony.
That's the whole case.
Frankly, in view of this, I don't see how you can vote for acquittal. What do you think?
Well, maybe, but There is so much evidence to sift, really.
What do you mean maybe? You can throw the other evidence away.
Oh. That was my feeling. I don't deny the validity of the points that he has made. Shall we say that on one side of the track there is doubt? But what can you say about the story of the woman? She saw it.
What time is it?
10 minutes of 6.
Guys, you don't suppose that they will let us go home now and finish in the morning? I have a lady waiting for me at home. And I have a dog.
I have a job.
Glasses are a nuisance, aren't they?
I can't see the clock without them.
No,
Do you wear your glasses to bed?
of course not.
Do you wear your glasses to bed?
Yeah, I just wait for the clock to chime.
Okay. Does any reasonable person wear glasses to bed?
No.
And what do you all do when you wake up during the night and want to see what time it is?
Is this when you wake up, you take your glasses and put them on?
Alright, and what was the testimony of the woman? Don't forget, she wore glasses.
Of course.
Did she wear glasses?
Yes, the woman wore bifocals. They were quite strong.
She had bifocals. I'm sure she never took them off.
What was her testimony? She wakes up during the night, looks out of the window, sees the boy stab his father, a split second later, the lights go out. What I'm saying is that she didn't have time to get up, put her glasses on, and look casually out of the window. What I'm saying that right now, the main eyewitness's side is in question. I'm saying that she honestly might have tried to see who stabbed the father. But I'm saying that she only saw a blur.
What do you know? That's bullshit. Maybe she's farsighted. How do you know all those things?
What do you think? I think that there is no room for reasonable doubt here.
Oh, this is.
I'll always wonder. But there is doubt.
What do you think?
I'm convinced now. There is a reasonable doubt in my mind.
You are alone.
I don't care whether I'm alone or not. I have my rights. Oh.
Yes, you have your rights.
I have my rights.
Your rights.
I don't see I'm wrong often, but I was this once. And there is a reasonable doubt in my mind.
You're not gonna intimidate me. I'm entitled to my opinion.
You are entitled to your opinion.
It takes a great deal of courage to stand alone.
If it is a grand jury, there will be another trial, and some of us will point these things out to the various lawyers.
Come on, you're the one who gave all the arguments. Tell them something. Oh.
I'm sorry, I'm convinced there is a reasonable doubt.
I'm not changing my vote. He's guilty. What do you want?
You are the argument.
I gave you my arguments.
We're not convinced. We have time. Give them us two again.
Everything that took place in that courtroom. And I mean everything. It says that the boy is guilty. What do you think? Am I an idiot or something? Take the old man. He heard the boy yell to his father, "I'm gonna kill you!" Oh, or it's because of the switch knife, because you found another one exactly like it. He saw the boy running out. He saw it 15 seconds after that, or I don't know how many seconds. What's the difference? How many seconds was it? What is? He saw it. Or this story about the woman? Are you crazy people? How do you know she didn't have her glasses? This woman testified in open court. She testified. Or the story about the movies. Oh, I bet you $5,000 that I remember the movies I saw. There's a phony deal going on here, I'm telling you. Oh, what's the matter? You want evidence? I have my evidence here. I have it. I have everything here. Here. See? This is my evidence. See? What are you? See? What are you staring at? Look at them. This kid